All right, here we are.
Oh, no.
Week 10 podcast,
10.
Dundee League extravaganza.
Hey, y'all.
It's nice to have a return to normalcy where things go as, you believe they should go for the most part. Some
Yeah.
games were a little wonky still, but
Like the Thursday night game.
yeah, well, yeah, that was
a
and
huge
Washington over Tampa.
That game belonged in week 9.
Yeah, they both did. I mean, the weather played a little bit. The weather and like the humidity down there in Florida, I think, played a little bit of part of that game. But also, what played a part of that game was like just terrible game planning by the Ravens and not an inability to adjust. Like they were blitzing. They had 6 guys coming like almost every play, and they never really kept the tight end in. Like the whole first half, Lamar's just under pressure, and you're not adapting. Like
It didn't look like they knew how to play football for 3 quarters, which has kind of been their case for most of the year. So I just kept waiting for them to come alive,
yeah.
and they never did.
Well, they did a little bit at the end, but it's the NFL. Eventually, teams, I mean, the ball's not going to bounce your way.
It was weird that it was the Dolphins that finally choked out the Ravens because they've been playing that game all season long.
And strangely enough, Tua, who wasn't even supposed to play in that game, comes in on a knee injury and ends up, leading that team to victory in the sloppiest,
I think it's another one of those cases of the worst team feeling like they're playing in their Super Bowl every week.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you're playing somebody that's only got 2 losses on the season. Like, you really want to put out your best effort.
It's a primetime game. You're playing Lamar Jackson.
Ravens just caught with their pants around their ankles.
Yeah, and everybody's been talking shit on the Dolphins defense, and then they showed up, man. And they actually, I mean, granted they were playing the Texans, of course, but 2 good weeks in a row, man. Like they put it on the Texans too, and like.
Who do they got next week?
I'm not sure about that. We can look into that. Yeah, but anyway, it's just an interesting week, It's just we were talking about though with the football team coming out, and like any of these teams that have been struggling, defenses have been struggling. Like we were saying, they're all professionals. If you come out and you allow these teams to get in, get some confidence, get their foot in the door on the way to that victory, like you got a problem on your hands, man.
Mm-hmm. The Dolphins play the Jets.
They have 3 good weeks in a row.
Three wins in a row, man.
Nice.
Dolphins could be headed for a stretch run here.
Good to be a Dolphins fan today.
Yeah, right. And I think the other, it was getting in our matchup too, but the other interesting part of that game was who was it? They scored a defensive touchdown that game. Xavier Howard has had 2 defensive touchdowns, I believe. I think he had one. He had one against the Texans, I believe, as well. So he's had 2 in a row. So
The other weird game of the week, Lions almost getting their first win.
yeah, at least they're not going to be the first 0-17 team. Good job, Detroit. It only took
9-1.
Might be the first 0-16-1 team.
Jesus.
It only took Mason Rudolph and a whole lot of rain and cold to get you there, Detroit. But you've made it.
Hey, Pittsburgh, this is what it looks like when Roethlisberger retires next year.
Yeah, I mean, you better
get Aaron Rodgers.
Who are even
better get Aaron Rodgers.
He was rumored to go there. He might go there.
He might go there.
I really
I hope not. I fucking hate that.
I think he's got a lot of respect for that franchise, though, because they've done nasty things to him in the playoffs.
It's a great franchise. I mean, I'd be excited to have him out of the NFC, but I don't want him with that franchise either.
Nope.
I'm okay with him buried up in Wisconsin, managing his current team.
Mm-hmm.
Let's leave him there.
I said nasty things in the playoffs, and that's not true because you want to know.
The one matchup was in Arlington. I was living in Arlington during that Super Bowl, by the way.
Yeah.
And I got to see an influx of Packers fans and Steelers fans and judge them like neck to neck on who was cooler than the other.
Who came out ahead?
Oh, far and away Packer fans cooler.
Beautiful. That's right.
Steeler fans are trash humans.
People from Pennsylvania in general are trash.
Yeah.
I think you're
Pittsburgh,
correct.
Philadelphia, like what city is?
If we have anyone listening from anywhere in Pennsylvania, stop. We're not fans.
That's right. This is mean Patty today, by the way. All right. We have no feelings for Pittsburgh.
No.
Anyway.
No.
Should we get to the first matchup here?
Yes.
Yeah. Should we go into one of the ones that's still on the line?
Who we get? Oh yeah, that's right. We
Let's
do
jump
have
in.
several matchups on the line this week.
Jump into Cody's long shot.
There you go. Cody,
Ooh,
what do you got to say for yourself here? You're down. What do we got? 30,
Yeah, well,
31 points.
a couple weeks of LA's offense not looking like LA's offense is gonna make my teams look bad. So here we go again. 7 points in 1/2, not great.
Yeah.
They have a bye next week, so I'm not winning next week. And I
That's
hope
gonna
that
be rough.
I hope that that's
Derrick
the
Henry
end
out.
of. I hope that's the vacation they need. Whatever it is, break the fucking spell because all of my team's success relies upon you at this point. That's where I'm at with this.
Who you think you're gonna play next week?
I don't know,
Yeah,
don't matter. I ain't gonna
yeah.
win.
Well, you can get Miles Gaskin versus the Jets.
Hey,
Jets are one of the
hey.
worst run defenses in the league.
Will the odds be low? Yes. Will they be 0? No.
No. I wonder who you play next week.
I play fucking Alan Dalvin, like the other guy who's matched with me at the top.
Yep.
I'm gonna get
Oh,
smoked.
that's great for me because he's losing this
Yeah.
week, and then you're
Yeah.
losing. That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
We can see the dumpster fire headed for the top spot here, but anyway,
Cody dipping his toes in the swamp.
Hey, a little bit. A little bit.
dangling. So that branch is, you're falling out of that treetop perch.
I'm trying to back into a bye, okay? I'm trying to survive into a bye.
Got 22 points from your defense, and you're still only sitting at 74.
You goddamn
The
right.
boys, yeah. They had a good day.
That was good.
Ryan.
Throttle the Falcons.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about that. And not me.
Let's
Rough
talk
day
about
for
Russell
Matt Ryan.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Man, what the
Shut-
fuck was that?
Shut out for the first time.
And
First
then like
time
throwing
ever.
up some like Charlie balls up for picks. I'm like, you're losing me points, man. Like, come on.
He was saying the finger didn't affect him. I don't know if it was
It
his
was
finger or
snowy
not.
and nasty in Green Bay.
And you know what? Packers got a good defense.
I think they do, and that's
Packers got a
bullshit.
good secondary. They have two great safeties, man. Darnell Savage, Adrian Amos. Adrian Amos almost had 3 picks in that game. He dropped. Well, he would only had 2. He had 1, but he dropped 2 at the end of the game because he had them, and then because Russ was just throwing up prayer balls
Yeah.
for the last 40 seconds. He threw 2 or 3 in a row that almost got picked, but. No, that was it. It was a little bit of a weird game. Both those quarterbacks looked really rusty after obviously Russ had the longer absence, but
I mean, it's hard to throw a football in snowy conditions, too.
that's true.
It's
But
difficult.
what's Rodgers' excuse though, man? He's been doing it for 15, 20 years, man.
Well, I don't think he's the same.
You know?
Aaron Rodgers?
I think so.
No.
After what? After his,
No, I mean, like, you said
when he
Aaron
was
Rodgers has been
younger.
doing for this long. I'm like, I don't think he's the same as anyone else. I think he's better than everybody else. So, like,
I
those
see what
sorts
you're
of
saying.
rules don't apply.
Yeah. No, special quarterback. Which is why, it would have been real nice if the Packers went a little harder after OBJ. I mean, for God's sakes.
I completely agree. I can't believe that he's not on that team right now.
How does he's literally leaking to the press, saying to anybody who asks him that he's very interested in playing in Green Bay,
Mhm.
and you come at him with the veteran minimum,
Yeah, I don't know.
and you
man.
don't even get a phone call from the head coach?
Strange.
What are we doing?
That's
McVay's on the phone. He's in it to win. Like, LA's out here making moves,
Yeah.
and Green Bay's sitting here like, nah, we're good. We'll play it old
That's
school.
Green-
We'll
that's
play
Green
with
Bay's-
our team.
That's Green Bay's whole shtick.
And that's why we have 1 Super Bowl in 15 years with one of the best quarterbacks who's ever lived. Anyway,
Accuracy.
I'm off that. Anyway,
True.
it's fucking disappointing.
Yeah, I
was
mean,
really
look,
upset about that.
let's look at the rest here. We got Gaskins getting a Gaskins. We've got Kirk getting a Kirk.
Getting a gas.
We got Scott outperforming a Scott. Like, I don't have anybody. That's just the way it is because Hopkins doesn't want to play anymore. And Derek did.
He did that man dirty. He
Yeah.
just hurt, dude.
He just doesn't care.
He's just done.
He doesn't like it. And I should have started Derek fucking Carr.
Derek Carr.
But, like, I mean,
Yeah.
I
Who
almost
looked
did. I
terrible
almost
too,
did.
to be fair. And then
But he got an
still-
average. But he got an average.
Your team
It's
is
tough.
thin.
Yeah, it's thin. That's how quick it goes, boys.
Clyde's coming back too, but the way
I need
Daryl's
him
been looking,
Fuck Daryl.
I think, earlier this year it was like a 70-30,
Mm-hmm.
80-20 split. I think you're looking at more of a 60-40. I
Having
think Daryl's
Clyde-
earned some more time on the field.
Having Clyde on my team feels good seeing what Kansas City did to Vegas. Because they haven't done that to anybody yet, and everyone started talking like, oh shit, where's this offense at? Now am I excited about my Cowboys going there next week? But, like,
That'll
I
be
need-
an interesting game.
I need Clyde.
What do you want me?
Depends on how the Cowboys decide to play them. because they're an opportunistic defense, but they give up big plays, dude. So if you let Tyreek get loose and you let Kelsey get loose down the seam, like
I'm confident that they will at a couple points, but I think the offense can more than make up for it. I think that Michael Parsons is going to give Patrick Mahomes fits because that man looks untouchable right now.
His first step off the line is elite. Is elite as a rookie, which is insane. Like I saw him. Granted, the Falcons don't have like the best offensive line, you know what I mean? But like he came off the edge. I don't know what quarter it was in. It was when I sent the group text to everybody. I was like, holy shit, Michael Parsons, because he was out there looking like Myles Garrett coming off the edge. Like he had that man beat in his first 2 steps. He was halfway around him before that dude
These men
was
look
in.
like they're twice his size, and they are in some cases. And he made on that sack he had right before the sack fumble, right before the first before halftime. He made one step to the outside to get that guy on his heels, and the second that he went on his heels and pivoted inside, the guy didn't put a finger on him, and he was to the quarterback before he could even plant his back foot.
He's so much faster. Like I'm not gonna say like more athletic, but he has such more. Well, he's super athletic, but he has way more speed, because he's a little undersized, and he's super good with his hands too. Like he hand fights really well. And I've seen him rip through. I know we talk about this dude every week because you guys are Cowboys fans, but also like just put some respect on that man's name, even more than we already have, because
he's the front runner for Defensive Player of the Year, the rookie.
Definitely. Well, Trevon Diggs, if he gets a few more interceptions this year. Like that's a little bit more high profile.
Player.
Oh yeah, that's right. We covered that earlier. Forgot about that because you're right. They were
saying
saying
you're right.
Trayvon Diggs got another pick, so he's got 8 now.
He got one in that game.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't even
After they turned it off national television because it was such a blowout.
Yeah, that's fun when you get that message.
You do. You get blown out, and then they flip over to Tom Brady getting beat by the Washington football team.
They switched to.
Wasn't that great?
What a great day.
That's hilarious. Anyway, what else we got going on your team? Christian Kirk, I think, is the guy to have when Hopkins is out in that passing offense.
Absolutely.
But
Kyler Murray is also out.
Yeah.
So
you can't rely on Colton Clark.
No.
He had one good week, but that was heavily influenced by the Niners defense collapsing.
But now this is what they look like against. I'm telling you, it's weird, man.
It's the NFL, man.
We thought the Niners were going to be good when the season started.
I thought they were going to be great. I thought they were going to contend.
And they are not.
They're not that good.
Well, them and Seattle are the 2 teams
that have underperformed.
And then have been. The Cardinals have like so much top level talent that even though they've dealt with injuries recently, they've still been able to overcome it. If you have your guys in the Niners, they're not as deep of a team. If you have some of your stars go down, it's going to impact you more. Like I feel like
Seattle.
Yeah, exactly. You lose Russ. You lose Chris Carson.
It's time for them to trade Russell Wilson. I don't want to see him drowned in Seattle anymore. That man's too good to waste his star-level talent on a team like the Seattle Seahawks.
Where do you want to see him?
Out of the NFC.
Okay. You know where he would look real good? Carolina. Cam Newton's on a 1-year contract.
I think he'd look good in Carolina.
Yeah,
and that's a very similar. You don't have a DK, but you got DJ Moore.
You got Matt Rule, who I believe in.
Yep. Can you imagine Russ with DJ Moore, Robbie, Christian McCaffrey, and that defense?
That's gross.
They would immediately be the Super Bowl favorite. It'd be nasty.
Interesting.
With Brian Burns over there, Hassan Reddick, a linebacker.
They're not getting rid of Russell Wilson.
Russ almost left last year.
Huh?
Russ almost left last year. He was pissed.
Yeah, he's not. He does not like the way they have.
He was not happy.
He's seeing the way Aaron Rodgers is moving, and he's laying down the groundwork for dismissal.
It'll be interesting. It would be crazy. Aaron Rodgers moves on, and we bring Russ into Green Bay.
Stop it.
Bring him back home to Wisconsin. Come on, let's go, baby. I would love.
I don't want to see him wasted in Green Bay.
He would not be wasted.
I just wanted him out of Seattle because they're gonna drown that man's career. And what do you think they're gonna do at Green Bay? Still not winning the Super Bowl with the best quarterback.
Check it out. We pay him a little bit less. We keep Devontae around. We sell him because Russell Wilson's coming.
Are you trying to sell him less money?
We move. No.
You're doing what the Packers already do.
Russ makes a lot of money. Rodgers is paid at a higher rate than him still. So if we come down a little bit, we got extra to cover Devontae, cut Zadarius Smith because we got Rashawn Gary, right? We're talking, roster management moves here. We could probably move on from Aaron Jones, although it pains me to say it, but we signed a contract with him, so we'd have to do some kind of trade. But
Are you
anyway,
just saying moving on from Aaron Jones because AJ Dillon's had a couple nice weeks?
A.J. Dillon is capable of being a 3-year starting running back for the Packers and covering that position. And being almost as effective as Aaron Jones. Running backs, unfortunately, even though like I really like Aaron Jones and I would love him to be a Packer his whole career, I mean, you can get an elite running back and hold him down for a while, but it's like they're so replaceable.
Yeah.
You know, you see 5 good running backs come out of college look at it. Like you have Elijah Mitchell was a 6th-round running back. He's a top 20 running back in the NFL right now, like top 15 maybe to be honest. But anyway, we're getting in the weeds. It's dark out, folks. We're in rambling mood.
We're talking about AJ Dillon though.
Oh yeah, okay, there we go. We're kind of on track, but yeah, I mean, like I was saying, Aaron Jones going down to an MCL sprain, out for a couple weeks.
Not good for Bailey.
Not good for Bailey, but to be honest,
I like that.
Bailey,
I'm scared of Bailey right now.
Bailey's tough, but like her team is very mercurial. It's either hot, it's either super hot, or it's super cold.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a dangerous team to play against in any given week.
It's true. But, like, as far as, like, playoff seeding is going, like, she could catch me on points, and you can't. So
that's true. You have to lose.
Bailey loses.
You have to lose 3 in a row, and I have to win every week.
Yeah.
So she ties you, yeah.
I like Aaron Jones going down for the sake of that because I need this bye. I need to hold on. I
mean, you're still hoping Derrick Henry comes back, but honestly, like what I've been hearing this week,
the odds are low.
The odds are real low. It hasn't sounded good in the last week.
All the more reason to like keep me in bye status because it's about surviving. Once you're in the dance, and I'm in. 100% chance. Let's go.
Yep. Well, if you get that bye, you're instantly into the money rounds, so that is valuable. But A.J. Dillon, though, like we were saying, like with Aaron Jones going down, I mean, they're gonna LaFleur. I promise you, like being a Packers homer. All I'm saying is like just watching LaFleur and kind of following that team closely. That man regrets not unlocking Derrick Henry, as I've said before, when he was in Tennessee. He's going to turn A.J. Dillon into a workhorse running back, and he's going to be gold these next 2 weeks. I firmly believe that. Okay. The only problem is that I think the Packers are on bye in week 13. I believe they're on bye in week 13, so if that's the case, then you're only going to get 1 week on A.J. Dillon. And I believe that they're playing the Rams next week, which is not what you like for your running matchup. But
Average Jakes is looking pretty good, and I think based on playoff seeding right now, he's going to be able to survive that bye week and take a strong A.J. Dillon into the playoffs.
Well, Najee is so reliable. Najee, there's no way unless Najee gets hurt, he's never going to get you less than 10 points. Mm-hmm. It's almost, he would have to have such an inefficient game carrying the ball.
He's got some really unexpectedly good running backs. Like, you look at the names, and then, Najee Harris obviously drew a lot of attention. Being a rookie, but, like, I'm expecting Leonard Fournette to be as consistent as he has been.
You didn't expect him to be a guy that's going to be in the top 20 almost every week, and he has been. Lately they've been struggling a little bit. Tampa, obviously, I don't think he had a great game against New Orleans, but like he's been good this year for where he was drafted. I think he was like a 7th-round draft pick or something,
Yeah. Drafted an 8th-round draft pick that's currently the running back 16.
Yeah, that's. I mean, those are the type of value picks that win you a league, So, a little bit worried about Manny Sanders for Strozy because, like, we all thought he was going to be this like reliable wide receiver 2 type character, but like I think he's kind of reverting to that like what his average is, where he's kind of like this up and down player, where he's going to have a big week because he's a explosive wide receiver, but like he's been disappearing lately,
Yeah, he's only had 2 big weeks.
Yeah,
out of the whole season so far.
Yeah,
2 weeks he got 2 touchdowns apiece, and then almost nothing the rest of the year.
But there was a stretch there, yeah, right there in the middle from weeks like 3 to 6 where he was very consistent. He was getting you a solid like 8-9 points floor, and then he had a few blow up weeks. But lately, I mean, there was one game where he goosed you, like, you know, it's a little bit tougher to have confidence in him.
Well,
but-
those have been struggling against bad teams, which
Yeah.
has been hurting those players a lot too.
Yeah. I mean, they
And that won't
looked,
continue. I mean, right? Sure, that won't continue. He'll bounce back and he'll get some consistency going on that.
I would imagine. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some good weeks there for Manny Sanders still, but I don't think Schroeder is going to struggle that much. Obviously, he's got Jamar Chase coming back. That's going to be past his bye. What else has he got down there? Like, he's going to be playing Jamar Chase most weeks. But yeah, I guess Manny Sanders is his other wide receiver, huh? He doesn't really have much else.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, well, you gotta hope he gets hot again, but he's gonna ride those running backs in the playoffs. Rodgers kind of a down game as we, you know, like he ended up fine. He got you 10 points, but that's not what you want to see coming back from an absence. Like no touchdowns, bad interception to
A weird
Jamal
game.
Adams. You know,
A weird game.
then Jamal Adams jumps in the stands like.
Isn't that his first pick? I think he was
his
really
first
excited.
pick this year?
No, I think it's his first pick in Seattle.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't see. I wasn't listening to the announcers. I was kind of just. We got a new puppy, so we weren't playing the volume real loud. Do not disturb her. So, but yeah. Anyway, Najee, we covered him. Yeah, Lenny, what we got in here?
Kelsey being a monster like always. Doesn't even need a touchdown. He's just putting up 12 points for you. That's such a huge thing to have, especially this year when the tight end pool is just
Shit.
Yeah, it's not been.
It's a down year for the top flight tight ends too.
Yeah.
They're not separating in the
Uh-uh.
way that they have.
There's
in
always
the
like
past.
3 guys that are just miles ahead, and there just isn't.
Well, and Waller, you know, unfortunately for Erica, like he actually had caught that touchdown at the end of the game, and then he got called back.
Yeah.
But
And that would have been just garbage time, which is good for fantasy, yeah, but like he's not doing anything.
he
He's got
hasn't
no
done
points.
much. I mean, week 1 he had that huge blow up, like 19 targets.
19
You
targets.
know,
Yeah.
and you know what sucks when that happens for like a really a big name like that when they just pop in week 1. It's psychologically what it does to you is you just want to hold on to that guy. You know what I mean? You're like,
No matter
he can
what.
always do that. And then it's like, you know, you get 6 weeks where he's getting, you know, 8 targets and catching 5 for 60, which is fine, but it's not what you wanted. you
Not
know?
on your 3rd round draft pick, you don't.
No, I mean, she didn't. Obviously, she traded with him with you, but Jake. But yeah, he hasn't really been there for it. But anyway, Bucks, you know, always can rely on them for some sacks. Obviously, had a bad game, so get you 6 points. You like that. But I think we covered this one pretty good.
Yeah.
For the,
Spent a lot of time on this defeat, guys.
Well-
it seemed a little unreasonable, honestly. We're like 9 minutes into me losing this game.
On behalf of the league and Mr. Schroeder, who's not here to say it for his above average self, Cody, suck it.
Oh boy.
Ooh. How's that feel?
Gotta take those opportunities when you can.
It's painful.
There's gonna be a lot of that for the rest of the year, I feel like.
Been a lot of them lately.
Look,
Starting a bad streak here.
things are weird right now. Things have been good. We'll see how it goes. I'm in the playoffs. Okay, I'm in.
You're
I'm in the fucking dance.
I
So
mean,
he's gonna hold on to that until the day he dies. Or until we draft next year.
There we go.
to the day he dies, or for at least 6 months.
Oh my god, let's jump into what might be the lowest score
Whichever
of the
comes
season.
first.
Yeah, just brutal. I mean, Trish, great wide receivers, explosive wide receivers, and just none of it went right this week. You have Seattle goosing, DK doing nothing but getting kicked out of the game
Not
for
just
intimidating the entire Packer defense. If you watch that, none of them wanted it with him. They all kind of backed off. Which
can you blame him?
of course not.
Ooh.
I would not want to fight that man either.
No.
You know,
But not only did they not perform, let me just read you the points up and down this side of the
Okay.
score.
Let's do
2.0, 2.0, 2.3, 1.7,
my
2.6, 2.4, and 5.8.
And to put names to that, folks, we have A.J. Brown. We have Dawson Knox, who's been great. You have D.K. Metcalf, D.J. Moore. Those are the names. And that's what they put up. Come on.
I would like to show also that Zach Moss only had 27 yards. They just happened to get in the end zone. So, like, you could snake an easy 6 points off of that score really easily. That team is rough. I think Trish is going to be the Sacco.
She might.
I think Trish is going to be the Sacco.
It's because
the running game. Yeah, the running game.
Yes, and it's because the running backs that are reliable create the floor for your team. Because wide receivers, every wide receiver in the league, it doesn't matter if you're Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams, every wide receiver has bad games.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hit a week like this, your floor is 48 points.
She'll bounce back a little bit, getting Kareem Hunt back, assuming he comes back, because that stretch he had there, multiple 20-point leads, made her team look a little better than it was, and now you're realizing that.
But he's probably out, like, I think they were saying at least multiple weeks still. Like maybe a minimum he's not playing next week. And I thought they were saying 2 to 3 weeks still.
Perhaps.
Yeah, we'll see. But just rough go for Trish.
She needs to trade Odell. Or
she should have traded Odell when the hype was there. Because now if he has a bad game, like
she
could still trade a guy like Metcalf for like big bucks though. You know what I'm saying?
She actually tried to place an offer towards me. I'm sure somebody else.
Yeah.
I think she's trying. So I don't think anything's quite panned out. So for whatever reason.
Yeah, I think Trish is gonna be the dog.
She could trade Beckham. She could trade Jalen Hurts.
She's gonna need it.
Josh Allen. She can't even use Jalen Hurts.
She needs to do something.
She got AJ Green down there. She got Brandon Cooks. She can get some value from.
She's going to be 3-7 after this week. She's got to win out to have a chance. So, yeah, if I were her, and obviously everybody does whatever they want, they're your own teams, but if I were her, I'd be going for broke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sell off one of those big damn wide receivers.
You have to do something.
Trade deadline's roughly 2 weeks away, so.
Yep.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yep. Do it now.
You got a run back I get off here, Trish. Anyway,
jump over to Eric's team kind of underperforming, but still putting up 90 points this year.
Yeah, putting up 90 points, and like what I told
Erica's got the best team.
She does have the best team. It not even being biased because obviously I'm married to the woman, but like she has so much depth at running back. She has Stephon Diggs, Debo have been fantastic. Marquise is gonna fall off a little bit because Rashad Bateman is gonna be great next year.
If Darren Waller looks like Darren Waller at all, then her team is unbeatable.
Yeah, exactly. Darren Waller starts showing up.
I mean, she's made better choices on defenses to play.
Yeah, she actually was gonna play the Packers, and
against KC, I just that offense is too dirty. I can't do it.
Yeah, she made a bad call there with the -7. She would have had triple digits if she would have played even a halfway decent defense, but
did not bite her in the ass.
No, it did not.
Luckily so, but.
Huge games from Stephon Diggs. Huge game from Zeke scoring 2 touchdowns in the first half because that offense was on fire. That got 26.
Finally had the Stephon Diggs game. We've been talking about it every week.
Yep.
Finally, we have the Stephon Diggs game.
162 and a touch.
Yeah. That's what he was doing. He did that like 4 or 5 times last year.
Yep.
And we finally see one. Comes against they played the Jets, right?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, there's a couple good teams that wanted to feel good about themselves this week because last week was so weird, and they went and fucking did it.
Yeah. Buffalo. Oh, yeah. Cowboys,
yep.
Buffalo. Yeah, they definitely were out for blood this week, and they got it.
And Cooper Kupp just dropped a 3rd down conversion.
You don't see that much.
The Rams are not coming back to do the thing that the other teams are doing.
Yeah. That's tough, man, because, the Niners got a good defensive line. And
the number 1 receiver in the league just did that? Like, what's going on? They need their bye week to come.
Yeah. They've been losing steam a little bit, but back to, obviously Dak, huge game. You had CeeDee Lamb out there looking like the beast that he is. Zeke's out there. Not a lot of yards, but gets the 2 touchdowns, which gets him there.
Well, Erica put up 90 points with Nick Chubb and Damian Harris on the bench.
That's why I was telling her, I was like, you got to be feeling good when you have 2 top 20 running backs and a top a top 10 running back in any given week that are out.
What are the odds that Erica makes the playoffs?
Yeah.
She needs a little bit of fortune because at this point she pretty much needs to win out.
All right, so
And
She has to win
if
out,
you have
yeah.
one bad luck week, that can ruin that.
Yep. But she's 2 in a row now.
she's got a 40% chance according to last week's metrics. So this week's win will just increase that, I guess.
Perhaps
She has-
around a coin flip then. Or
Ooh.
maybe a little better.
I mean, her team's the one to do it.
If she gets in a tie with somebody, she's probably gonna have the points advantage based on she has the highest point total in 1 week, and then she's been putting up points the last few weeks. But anyway, I don't want to sound too biased, but
She's right in the middle of the pack for she's right in the middle of the pack for points scored.
yeah, should have. Well, she puts up a few big weeks. You never know.
True.
Debo's having a good game tonight. Finish off her team. She's got some guys coming back. Trish, just bad luck. Josh Allen had a good week. I mean, that was the one bright spot. Zach Moss is like to just kind of put a bow on this matchup for myself, and then if you guys want to say anything else. But what's so frustrating about Zach Moss, like I've been betting on him a lot in daily lately because he's playing the Jets. He got a touchdown, right? But every running back in the world against the Jets puts up numbers, and like whatever it is with the Bills, their running backs just never do anything.
So Josh Allen is the running back for the Buffalo Bills.
Yes, he takes a lot of those looks. Like they game plan those looks for him instead of two running backs.
Josh Allen is a fucking stud.
He is.
Do you feel like in the playoffs though, it's going to hurt them? Because it kind of hurt them like last year that they weren't more balanced.
I think he will because I think he'll get against a good defense. And good defense that flies the ball is going to hurt Josh Allen. They're going to hit that man, and he's not going to have those opportunities to run around the corner that he can get away with some of these bad teams.
A good pass rush and a decent cornerback too with a stud. Like if they came up in the AFC, I'm trying to think. You come up against a well coached team. Like even in their own division, man, the Patriots are looking better by the week, man.
They're so well coached. You can tell the preparation goes into it. They don't make mistakes. They always seem to be in the right spot.
Yeah.
Like you think it's luck, and then it goes on for over a decade, and you're like, it's not luck. That's just preparation. Man.
Whoever they bring in, they put into their system, and they produce above average results.
They do.
Every one of their that's
And if they don't fit into the mantra of the team, then they are washed out and they go on somewhere else, or they usually retire. Because a lot of these players that they let in to really make a difference have struggled other places with off the field issues. That doesn't exist in that culture.
You want to know one other thing that they do that was brought up by somebody I was listening to? It might have been the Footballers, but on a podcast this year, was that one thing that the Patriots do super well? They move on, like, and it's a little bit counterintuitive, but they move on from star players when they're still in their prime, but they're on the tail end of it, like Stephon Gilmore and like other guys like that. They move on from. Well, they get that draft capital, and they don't pay them for their last contract where they're going to fade eventually. So it's like, from a team management perspective, they do that. Like, I don't know that they draft super well all the time, but they do that part of it better than a lot of teams do. Yeah. So I feel like the Packers back themselves into corners with, like, they get all these old guys that they're on these contracts with, like Bakhtiari, who's getting old as shit and hasn't played a single game yet this year, and we're paying him more than almost any offensive lineman in the fucking league,
Yeah.
But anyway, moving on here. You guys have anything else you want to say about this one?
This one's wrapped.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Let's jump into the couples matchup.
There you go. A little bit, what were you going to say?
Bailey team come out flat. She got Dalvin Cook, and that was about it.
Oh, Allen, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go home, Bailey team.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, shit, I thought it was Bailey on the left side. Fuck.
Got to go by the logos.
Well, Bailey's team did all right. Allen's team flat. So
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook and nothing else.
Yeah, I needed this game to go the opposite fucking way.
Me
Allen
too.
really let me down here.
Yeah, I wanted Allen to win too. Yeah, we both did. We were both pulling for him this week. But I mean, Josh Jacobs is not good. Anytime the Raiders lose, he's terrible. If they're winning, Josh Jacobs is gonna be great. Josh Jacobs is gonna have 3 touchdowns.
Completely dependent on the game script.
Yep, he's the most game flow dependent running back in the league.
I would say that's accurate.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, 7 carries in that game. That's accurate.
Well, Kenyon Drake comes in and steals so many touches from him.
Mm-hmm.
And what pissed me off is I had some money on Kenyon Drake last night. Now there's 7 minutes of garbage time. Caught 3 balls for like 10 yards. Son of a bitch. Anyway.
I had a garbage time quarterback on my bench, and I couldn't fucking take advantage of that. I feel like a schmuck.
You schmuck.
Who's quarterback on your bench?
Derek Carr.
Oh, Derek Carr, that's right.
He got some garbage time points.
Oh yeah, they went all the way down the field, and then they
And
put them together.
Matthew Stafford having 2 rough weeks in a row. The Rams looking flat.
Has he thrown 3 so far, or is he just thrown 2 interceptions?
He's thrown 2 interceptions at only 140 yards. He's putting up less than 6 points.
Well, the Niners are, remembering where their pride is apparently after last week's performance. Like
this division always seems to be like they always play each other tough. It's not what
I'm not gonna lie, I get a lot of Pac-12 vibes out of this. It's not just because of the location.
It's like a Washington State, Oregon Ducks situation. But Oregon beat Washington State this week, didn't they?
They did.
They did. No, they won.
But they lost to Stanford, who sucks.
Yeah. Well, that's what Oregon's want to do. Let's be real.
That's true.
Can't ever go undefeated and just fucking run it out and be a national champion.
Can't fucking do it.
So have we yet ruled out Michael Williams as an elite wide receiver again?
I think that reality is finally back to normal.
His knee's injured and his athleticism isn't what it was at the beginning of the year, which is why he was dominating.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it looks like to me. And Justin Herbert seems like he's realized that and he's going Keenan Allen's way. That's what it seems like to me.
You can see a direct correlation in the amount of targets that he gets week to week. He's only getting roughly 5 a week for the last 3 weeks.
If you don't have that explosion off the line, you can't out jump guys. You can't do that stuff. Like even if his knee is at 70%, that his skill set, like why he's having big games like that, is that he's so explosive off the line. He can out jump anybody. Well, if he slows down by half a step, then that nullifies his whole game. He's not.
Then suddenly every team has a quarterback that can keep up with him.
Exactly, and he's not the route running savant that Keenan Allen is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Keenan Allen's body control, as I said before, is just off the charts. Even in his older age. But Dalvin Cook had a solid game. Honestly, should have been a better game. Dalvin Cook should have had about 3 touchdowns in that game. He had so many carries inside the 10-yard line, and he would get it down to the 1, and then they'd throw the ball to Tyler Conklin. Tyler Conklin caught like 2 touchdowns in that game, and they both should have been Dalvin Cook touchdowns.
You hate that.
But it's just how it's all about bounces some weeks. As they say. Yeah.
Well, you know what they say.
Oh no.
As they say.
Oh god.
You beat the ones who brought themselves.
They do say that.
That's what they say.
They do
And that's what Bailey did this week. And to get on Bailey's team a little bit, is there anything else we need to say about Mr. Go Home Bailey's team?
Yeah, pretty quiet week. I mean, still a good team, but
way to lose when I need you, man. What the fuck? How about that?
You want more out of Lamar than 15 points when he's playing the Dolphins. I'll say that,
Yeah.
And of course, Lamar had to have his Lamar week last week when I played him,
Mm-hmm.
of course. But anyway, I got a lot of luck this year, so I'm not complaining.
You scored no points and you're somehow
That's right.
like fighting for a bye.
Isn't that
That's right.
amazing?
Unbelievable.
Hey, I had a good team last year. Michael Thomas on the team,
Don't
and the
verify
fantasy
it with
guys
that.
shit
God.
all over me.
If you
It was a
turn the
buffet
podcast
of
off at
shit
this
last
point,
week.
I would not blame you. I would like to leave the room myself.
Hey, all I can say is we're putting a lot of effort this year.
Mm.
Fantasy gods have returned it. Anyway,
You don't know that. You have no idea how this season ends. You can fall flat on your face, sir.
we're bringing that trophy home, folks. Let's be real. Anyway, CMC's back.
You don't even have
We'll
the-
talk about it later.
You don't even have the best fantasy team in your own house.
That's
It hurts because I know it's real.
that's true. That's true. Everybody's hoping and praying that Erica doesn't make the playoffs.
Including me.
Yeah.
Because she's got to get through me in the last week of the
Yes, she
season.
does.
And
You're gonna have something to say about that.
We ain't pulling punches.
Are you gonna
For
keep her out of the
sure.
playoffs?
I hope so.
Everyone else
That'd be
hopes so.
fantastic.
Everybody's counting on you, Patrick.
To give Bailey a little bit more comments on her team real quick. Like I said, Matt Stafford, rough week. Aaron Jones only out probably a couple weeks. But that hurts. James Conner, in a game where they're getting shellacked, still finds his way into the end zone like he does every freaking week.
Fucking James.
Saved his week, really.
Yeah. What do you end up with?
12.4.
12 points?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking at his fantasy points little sheet on ESPN here. He's boomed 50% of the time. I mean, that is fantastic.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? As a running back goes, especially.
He's a running back 5 on the year. He's averaging 14 points a week.
It's been ridiculous.
That's absurd value for where that person was drafted.
Where was he?
8th round.
Oh my God!
87th overall.
Get the running back 5 in the 8th round.
That's disgusting.
You like that?
You like that?
She's the other candidate for running back depth. I mean, Aaron Jones, Eckler, James Conner. Like, it's been real solid for her. Well, she's got somebody else on her bench, doesn't she? Running back wise.
Mark Ingram. But
Yeah,
I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that.
If Alec
believe in
Kamara's out, Mark Ingram's very valuable.
Yeah, I don't. Okay.
Who else do they have on that offense?
Look, he did get in the end zone in that game and that thing, but like I don't know.
They have nobody. You want to know who the best person is after Mark Ingram?
Who?
Deontay Harris. Exactly. That's why Mark Ingram's
How
valuable.
long Kamara out? How long Kamara out?
So Stephania Bell today, when I was listening to ESPN's podcast, she was saying that because of Kamara's history coming back from the same type of injury that he has right now with his knee, I believe, it seems like, and some of the beat writers think they're going to be more conservative with Kamara because when he came back last time, Kamara's big strength is that he has such great balance and agility on his feet that if he doesn't have that, it changes his game to the point where it makes him more vulnerable and to re-injury.
Got it.
And which is kind of what happened last time. So they're thinking that they might manage him a little bit. Maybe he's out another week, or maybe multiple. We don't even know. But if Mark Ingram's in there by himself, all I'm saying is that he's extremely valuable because they have nobody else.
Oh, well, that's good for her depth.
Yeah, she might luck out if Mark Ingram's able to give her another week and then the Packers go on bye anyway. Then she's not really losing out that much by having Aaron Jones out a couple weeks.
True.
You know. But anything can happen. He could have a setback. CeeDee Lamb a little banged up, but it's only a shoulder bruise. He'll probably be okay. It is important, though, shoulder injuries for wide receivers. If you can't lift your arms above your head without pain, then you ain't playing.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because obviously you can't go up and make catches if you can't raise your arms over your head. You know?
That's a fact.
So,
I've done studies. Bailey's only real weak spot is her tight end. She's pretty good everywhere else.
Who's it? She got Hawk?
She got Jared Cook.
Jared Cook.
She has Hawkins.
She does have Hawkins.
It's the right move to not play him because that game was ugly and he didn't score any points.
He hasn't done much. He had 1 week with 10 catches for 89, but other than that, he hasn't done anything since week 2.
He's getting Detroit Lions and he's getting Jared Goff because the Detroit Lions have nobody else other than him and Swift, and you're not going to put your number one cornerback on DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
So the number one quarterback guards Hawkinson, and that's hard to deal with when you're a tight end. You've seen it with Kyle Pitts going up against Stephon Gilmore.
It's hard to create space.
Yeah, you're bigger than them, but if you put a safety over the top, you're not outrunning those guys.
You're not.
You know, so I feel like that's what's happening with Hawkinson because they have nobody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Defense had a solid week. The Panthers had a blocked kick and a touchdown, just like the Cowboys did, I believe. And then
double digits from the kicker and from the defense.
Yeah.
And from the flex.
Right.
It doesn't matter that Aaron Jones and the quarterback put up a stinker because she got what she needed.
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb had a monster. He had both his touchdowns, I think, in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
If not, then early into the second. But just couldn't be touched.
It was all smiles all day for CeeDee. He was smiling from the end of first quarter till time. I mean, he wasn't smiling so much after he got his shoulder banged up, I'm sure. But
it was a good day.
It was a good day to be a Cowboys fan. All right, we good on that one?
Yeah. Can we go on to your 74-point win?
My shellacking.
That's all he does.
Mr.
That's all he does.
Hey, you know
he
what?
74-point wins.
Hey,
like nobody else.
You know what? I think I beat everybody that I've had a major trade with this year. So what does that say about my trade IQ, folks?
Look, we've already
you have no forecasting ability in that regard whatsoever.
The only one I haven't beat is you.
I believe the word is slop.
Hey, My record says otherwise, folks.
Okay.
My record says
No,
You
otherwise.
know, all the metrics say the truth, and that no one has scored points against you.
That's right. Like I said,
No.
fantasy
No.
gods love their dedicated.
Oh,
You
Jesus.
left all your points on the bench.
All right. Well, who's playing Antonio Gibson
You
against
want
the
to talk
Bucks?
about your intuition and your acumen when it comes to this, and paint yourself like a favored by the gods,
Hey,
and you're leaving 60 points on your bench.
hey. You know, when you're putting up 74 points, you got to be favored by someone.
It sounds like you're favored by yourself.
Well, we are right now because we're feeling good about this win this
For
week.
instance, I would have beat you this week. And remember how much we just shit on my team? I would have beat you this week.
How many points? How many points did you put up?
75.
That's not to be said yet because if Mr. Gay gets another field goal, we will take that right to say that.
Well, I've also still got 3 players playing.
Hey,
3 players.
we all know they ain't doing shit. We're watching the Rams. Come on now.
Okay, now you're grasping at straws.
Unbelievable.
Grasping at
Unbelievable.
straws.
All right.
Patrick, who are you going to beat next week with 65 points?
Who we got? We got Todd. Very beatable with 65 points.
That's
Ooh,
true. That's
fighting
true.
words.
That's true.
Hey, Todd's the one that said I suck, so I feel like the gloves are off.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I said that, but I blamed it
He
on
concurred. He didn't
Todd
defend,
put up
he didn't
100
defend my
points
honor.
last week.
Todd. Yeah.
That's the fucking highest point total of the week, I think.
Nah, I'm kidding. I love Todd. He's great. But
Now, fuck that. Let's get
I'm
aggressive.
gonna beat that ass next
There
week,
we
Todd.
go.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, but in my defense, you know, it's really pisses me off that the 1 week, you know, I've had Gibson in my lineup every week, and he's been putting up 4 points, 5 points, no points, whatever the hell he's doing, and then. I should have known. I had a feeling that coming off the bye that Shin would be feeling a little bit better, but I didn't know it'd be feeling, 20 points better.
24 carries better.
Yeah, 26 touches, like third highest touch total on the week, probably. Against the Bucks. The one thing I want to say about the Bucks too is that what do we think about that run defense now that Vita Vea is probably out?
It's way different.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Right? Vita Vea got injured on the last play in that game.
You hate when that happens.
Well, and how bold was the football team? 4th and goal, could have kicked the field goal and put themselves up by a touchdown, and they're like, nah, we don't believe in this defense's ability to stop Brady. We need to win this game right now.
They did it.
And they did, to their credit,
Uh-huh.
You like to see it. But, and the same thing with Devonta Smith, real quick, to just finish up the bench woes for me. You're not playing Devonta Smith with Jalen Hurts against one of the best pass defenses in the league. The Chargers have a great pass defense, and the Eagles torched them. Jalen Hurts and Devonta Smith torched that defense.
They look
They
good on
ripped them
certain
up.
weeks.
Yeah.
They look good on certain weeks.
They do.
As much as I don't want to fucking admit it because it's the Eagles. But some weeks they look awful. They look downright terrible, like an embarrassment to the league. Other weeks they look okay.
All credit to Sirianni for making an adjustment because they're like, we can't allow Jalen Hurts to put this on his back and run all over the field and throw the ball 35 times a game because he's never going to lose.
Yeah.
He's going to throw an interception. He's not going to put a
You
drive
can't roll
together.
the Jalen Hurts dice that many times
He's
in a
not
game.
refined enough to.
No,
No, in fact, he's garbage.
he's. I don't think you could say that at this point. I don't think you can say at this point with his last few performances because Jalen Hurts with some complimentary football from his running backs has been looking real good the last few weeks. The Chargers are a decent team, man, and they beat them.
Chargers are an average team in my opinion.
They're
Average with upside.
They're a top half team. They're a top 16.
They're a
team.
top half team in the AFC.
Yeah. I think they're a middle of the road team in the NFC.
Yep.
The NFC is very top heavy this year.
I think if you put them in the NFC West, they're the 5th place team if Russell's healthy.
Ooh, I don't know about. I think they're better than the
no,
Niners. I think they're better than the Niners.
I think they're third. I think they're third easily.
And I think they're better than Seattle. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Seattle doesn't have a good enough defense.
Interesting. I guess that's how I feel too.
Yeah.
Okay, agree to disagree. They're just firmly in 5th.
There we go.
Let's just move over to the NFC West, see what happens.
Yeah, right. We leave one division with 3 and
That's
0
right.
5. I'm cool with it.
But what else we got on my team? I mean,
Jefferson having a good week. Andrews coming through with a touchdown, 80-some yards or 60-some yards for you.
Yep, he's the one guy from the Ravens that did anything worthwhile, and we like that when it happens to your player. Justin Jefferson felt real good about him this week. The Vikings said they needed to get him more targets, and boy, did they. And you know what? He came through for him, so I feel like that's going to continue. And I'm real stoked to see what the next few weeks look like for him.
If you make it into the playoffs, I don't know that you're going to win a game with the quarterbacks you have on your team.
We'll see what Cam Newton's going to do.
You're going to get smoked in the playoffs. I hope you get in
He's
because
going to
I'm
hand
going to
the
need
ball
an easy
to
win.
Christian McCaffrey when he gets to the red zone. That's what he's going to do.
No, what's going to happen is Christian McCaffrey's going to get all the yards, and Cam Newton's going to run a few touchdowns, and they're both going to be okay.
I think they're both going to be
That's what's
okay,
gonna
but
You're
then
going to
you're
have
going to
to
rob.
bank on your quarterback running for touchdowns, and that man's older than he was when he was good. He's not that good anymore.
Okay. Cam Newton didn't start the game at quarterback, and
he outscored the quarter.
Teddy Bridgewater.
And you started Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah,
so
Exactly.
why do you keep telling us about things that you're making the wrong call on?
I made the wrong call, but I'm supporting myself in that Cam Newton in a full game,
That's some bullshit.
2 touchdowns.
He's bragging that Cam Newton outscored
He's starting.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah.
If you get Gibson picking up steam, and then you have CMC, and you're putting Godwin in, and you got Justin Jefferson in, Mark Andrews, okay, and if you get Cam Newton putting up a solid 15 every week, my team looks a lot better.
No, it doesn't.
I think so.
15 a week from a quarterback's not good.
If anything, my team is one of the most consistently average teams in the league.
Which is why you're not going to playoff game.
Well, a lot
Are
of
you going to
teams.
change your team name to Average Patrick?
No, we're still the Chicago dumpster fire. Never forget Allen Robinson.
Oh, man.
We missed Chicago this week.
Never forget.
We missed watching Chicago not throw the ball to Allen Robinson.
Kind of feels good as a Bears fan not to watch your team play. You know?
Well, Justin Fields been looking better recently, and Dave Montgomery's back, so they're not as bad as they were on
I think
offense.
Chicago's terrible.
Who's that touchdown? Debo? Oh, that helps me.
Did that just happen?
On the betting, yeah, it did. Well, it's gonna happen right here.
Oh, fuck.
40-yard touchdown to Debo.
Here it is.
Yep.
There's,
Hell yeah.
There's Erica getting better again.
Yep.
No kidding.
He looked like he was breaking down, but it don't look like it tonight.
No,
He's
don't.
got 2 touchdowns. But anyway, to put a ball on my team, and then let's talk about Allen. Steelers love him on defense. They get sacks even when they're playing, with Mason Rudolph putting him in bad positions. Their offense turn the ball over. They get sacks with T.J. Watt's out, which changes them a lot. But Christian McCaffrey, as we were saying, his floor is so high because he gets so many yards, so much involvement. Played 60% of snaps, had 160 yards from scrimmage, didn't score a touchdown. We like that. It's nice to see CMC back. And if they keep increasing his usage, it's just going to get better. Down week for Godwin. We know the story with the Bucks. Deontay Johnson, it's Mason Rudolph. What are you going to do? Fumbled the ball when he could have potentially, ended up with like 8 points. Talk about Allen's team. Heineke, gutty performance from Heineke. If you watch that game, he was so freaking emotional in the second half of that game.
They wanted it. They wanted it bad. As soon as they got a little bit of life,
Yeah.
they knew they could pull it off. They went for it.
Yeah. And they played him tough in the playoffs last year with Alex Smith. I think Matt Berry was talking about that this last week, but they were the only team that came close to beating him in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's true.
That
was a tough game.
They played him dirty.
Yeah.
And it showed that whatever it is about Washington, they match up with the Bucks decently well.
We've been saying it for years. If you want to beat Tom Brady, you have to fluster him. You have to get in his face. You have to make him a little uncomfortable, which is so much harder to do than it is to say. In Washington's D-line.
Because you can't blitz him.
No.
But you have to get pressure with your front four.
Yep.
Or a 3-person rush. And Washington was able to do that last year in the postseason. And they showed life of it again this week.
What's interesting is that they were able to do it without Chase Young for most of that game. Chase Young out for the season now.
It's the only time their defensive line has looked like what we all thought Washington's defensive line was supposed to be.
Yeah.
They did, so good on them. You took one off the win for the Buccaneers. You helped some playoff seeding for the Dallas Cowboys.
And for the Pack, we like that.
Yeah, no
The
kidding.
Pack and Dallas profited this week from the Cards and Bucks going
I don't
down.
know if the Rams go down, that will even more so.
They are going down. It's 31-7 now.
Oof. Ugly.
Yeah, they're not coming back.
Nope, this one's over.
If
Yeah.
they would have won tonight, I would have won $150 in the conference pool.
Damn.
Is that how it always happens? When you bet on them, they fucking fall flat on their face. That's been happening to me this year. The last couple weeks in DFS stuff, anyway.
They need to buy.
Any other comments on this one?
Well, to do Allen's team justice, I mean, JT, fucking stud. Like, I mean, Jonathan Taylor is top. Was he? He's easily top 5.
RB1.
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 No, he is.
Listed fantasy wise.
He's RB1.
This year, but if you're talking like draft,
Is that what you were asking?
that is what I was asking. But what I was thinking was draft position wise next year is what I want to talk about. Who's the 101?
Derrick Henry.
CMC, Derrick Henry, or
Derrick
JT?
Henry.
Still, yeah.
Derrick Henry.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
Really? I'm taking CMC still.
I'm taking Derrick Henry.
I think I'm taking Derrick
I'm
Henry.
taking Derrick. Well, now that Derrick Henry showed that he's not bulletproof.
It's true, but like
He is still. He
Yeah,
had an unfortunate
not.
foot
He's out
injury.
for probably the rest of the season.
I feel differently about one
once you-
injury than
once
two
you-
injuries. And
That's
CMC's
fair,
that too.
But
And
once
that's
you get one, it's so much easier to get it
That-
again.
that's-
and again. Especially foot injury, you're a running back.
I get
You're
that.
living
True.
on your feet.
I hear you. I hear what you're saying, and
I feel like hamstring's
Derrick
worse though.
yeah,
Like soft tissue is
Yeah,
worse.
there
Derrick
may be worse
Henry's the
ones,
one.
but a foot one's not a good
CMC.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
You
one
guys
one.
keep it going. He's got.
one. Okay.
Podcast.
And the
Bathroom
host
announcement.
out. What are the comments you got on his team?
He bid on the Freiermuth tight end waiver wire scandal. I don't think he's an actual tight end, so he came up short there. And I think Allen's team's actually in trouble, and I need him to beat Bailey next week. Allen, homie, act like you got some, please.
Yeah, I mean, around the time Kyler Murray stopped producing is kind of when Allen's team kind of went to a free for all. He's still got a good record, so clearly still in the running, but I just don't have fear in me when I view that lineup. You know what I mean?
No, and it used to be because Kyler Murray was looking like MVP, like, oh my God, we take Patrick Mahomes at this level sort of talent.
Yeah, you couldn't touch him. He was just dancing around defenders.
Yeah. And now he's missed the time that we all fear a small man might miss, and the lineup looks like it does.
Could come back anytime and still shred it up.
Uh-huh.
You would think, especially being that young, you recover so much quicker than normal. But with the demise of Kyler Murray has also come the demise of Allen's too.
It's true.
Yeah.
Allen officially on notice for being in trouble.
It's looking like Kyler's coming back next week though. They thought he could have played this week, but because they have such a winning record, they didn't want to. I mean, Cardinals are probably a playoff team.
I got a hot take.
You know,
I got a hot take.
What's that?
Erica's team could be the team that knocks Allen out of the playoffs,
I think so.
based on where they're going right now.
Well, Allen just, I mean, I could have been wrong on the trade that I made with him, but I really felt that Jerry Jeudy was going to really diminish Sutton's value, and that's how it's gone. You know, and you have Teddy Bridgewater throwing the ball around. Like, Teddy Bridgewater's not an explosive quarterback.
Sutton hasn't existed in 4 weeks, in a month.
Since Jerry Judy's been back 3 weeks, and look at his 3 worst weeks. It's like he has done nothing.
He had 4
Yeah.
targets, 2 targets, and 3 targets.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist.
It's Jared Jeudy was the guy that they were so high on coming into this year, and if you look at his first game, he played half of that game, and he came out, I think, and had like 6 targets first half, and he came back in, and he's been doing all the same stuff. What happened there?
A drop ball because
So was it easily 30 yards?
Is that Vance Jefferson?
yep.
Oh God, I bet a lot on him. That sucks.
That game's over. But it wasn't even just the quarterback spot that was flat for Allen. It was Javonte Williams, it was Scary Terry, it was
He
Freiermuth.
couldn't even get his points out of Freiermuth at the end of the game because Freiermuth had a good catch, and then just like everybody else in that game, fumbled the ball away. There was 3 fumbles, I think, in overtime of that game. It was just gross.
Yeah, I missed that one, but that sounds disgusting. He got Joe Mixon on the bench, but that means he had to put Jeremy Nichols at flex for the second week after he didn't really do much last week either. Tennessee running game doesn't exist right now.
It's a 3-headed committee, and nobody is valuable.
Yep.
That's what it is.
I'm really glad I did not spin a waiver wire pick on that.
Yeah, I feel like my poor choice on him, thinking he was gonna, they were gonna use him kind of in the way that the Lions did, just take a bunch of carries, be super inefficient, but exist on volume. I thought that's what was gonna happen. I thought he was gonna be like a 6-point a game, maybe fall in the end zone type guy,
Mm-hmm.
but it hasn't been that. I feel like I redeemed it a little bit because I had Alex Collins follow me this week, and if I'm being honest, I don't think Chris Carson's playing again this year.
Probably not.
He has degenerative disc disorder in his neck.
Oh man,
It's hard for that to get. He might not.
I'm not
It
play
sucks.
again.
He might, yeah, and I like Chris
He might not
Carson,
play
man,
again.
and it sucks, but like
You
know,
can't fuck around with neck injuries.
that happened to remember Nick Collins for the Packers?
I don't.
That
All of a
happened to
sudden-
Prince Fielder.
Yeah, for the Brewers.
No, for the Texas Rangers.
Well, he was with the Brewers first. Let's be real.
Yeah, but he was a Ranger when he was forcibly retired.
No,
I saw him play in
we're a
Seattle that
baseball
year.
podcast.
Yeah. Well, and tuning into the Dundee Fantasy Baseball Podcast, we're talking
Go
about
Rangers!
we're talking about the Texas Rangers here, folks. Jokes podcast. Not a good one. We'll come up with something better.
Yeah, we'll
I
work
mean, no
on it.
promises.
We'll workshop it.
If you're
I'm
still with us, thank you.
But
No one's here. No one's in this room.
The dog's with us.
No,
She's a loyal
no, she's
listener.
asleep,
Oh,
actually.
she's
We
out.
lost
That's
her.
We fucking lost her
We
too.
lost
She's pretending to sleep after that joke.
Miss Nixon.
She's like, I will not be associated with that joke.
Well, Dave just sent a group message to the chat about maybe pulling this one off. So let's switch over to his matchup.
Okay. All right. What we got to say about Davey here?
He's pulling up another win. He's about to pull the 500. It looks like Todd, who probably needed to win out, is kissing his playoff chances goodbye.
Did Cooper Cup just fumble the ball?
I believe he did, but there's a penalty down, so we'll see.
Yeah,
hope
probably
so.
on defense.
Todd needed the Rams defense and Van Jefferson to put up some numbers tonight. Didn't need remarkable numbers. I think he only needed about 20 from them, but he's only gotten 6 from them. So the Rams are killing it.
What luck for Todd too. Patrick Mahomes has been sucking 4 weeks in a row, and then the 1 week he plays and he puts up like the second best quarterback performance of the year.
400 yards and 5 touchdowns.
The only one that scored higher was when Herbert had that. I think Herbert had one, and Brady might have had one where he did 38, but 36 is one of the high marks for sure. Yeah, I don't know what the Raiders were doing, play double high, but the one thing that they were saying, and it did seem apparent in that game, is that they Chiefs gave 9 targets to Darrell Williams. They were checking the ball down, and when they came up to stop it, they forgot that Tyreek Hill is faster than anybody in the NFL, and he just destroyed them.
Clyde Edwards check down is going to be my guy moving forward.
I'm telling you, man.
You think so?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think Darrell's
I
gonna
don't
get
have a
more
lot
of
of
that work
running
than you're gonna
backs.
like.
Darrell put up a hell of an argument this week.
Did you see the catch he made?
Yeah.
He
just
lost
outmanned
Jonathan
that guy.
Abrams.
He did. He said, this ball's mine. I'm going to
Yeah.
hit it at its highest point. You have a shot.
Yeah, it was
Hey,
nasty.
good for him.
Patrick Mahomes extended the play long enough for the running back to get 40 yards down the field, and then just chucked it.
Clyde Edwards Westbrook. That's what I'm looking for.
You hope so. That's Andy Reid really ruined my drafts the last 2 years by insinuating that he was going to make Clyde Brian Westbrook because I believed him. Stupid
You
fuck.
got to stop doing that.
Well, to be fair, last year I did believe the hype. This year I just
No.
what are you doing, Jefferson?
Oh,
You could have
man.
caught that pass.
Speaking of Todd's,
Oh god, that would
Oh,
have been. Oh jeez.
that would have been almost exactly what he needed. He'd have been about 4
He'd been real
4
close.
points shy.
Probably 3.
That would have put him.
Three
That would have
points.
put him in contention.
He could have caught this too.
Should have.
What are you doing, dude?
He
Help
lost
us,
his
quarterback.
focus. The guy jumping threw him off.
Yeah,
As long as we all know that Dave is going to blame that on Matt Stafford.
Dave probably thinks this is some kind of con to have the Packers win the Super Bowl.
he's a Chicago conspiracy theorist.
He
What Dave
is.
is. Everything in the league exists to keep the Bears out of the playoffs and from having a decent franchise, apparently.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Me too, as long as Matt Nagy's at the helm, because they don't deserve shit.
It's fact.
And Nagy sucks.
He's terrible. They should have kept the backup, like when Nagy got sick, just let that guy coach the rest of the year, because that was the best their offense looked all year. Who else we got? Kenyon Drake. When Josh Jacobs is back, Kenyon Drake is not valuable. Jacobs has to be out. He
And
might
even
give
then,
you a
Kenyon
week.
Drake's not that valuable. He's a little more, goes up short, and he'll make the roster on Dave's team, but he's not a great player.
Make the run. Sorry, that was a failed shot at Dave's team.
That was the mask coming off.
Good fuck, Dave.
It hurts that Chase Edmonds is down for Dave. I'll say that. But I've been trying to trade with Dave for Patty Mahomes, and I was offering running backs, and he didn't take it. Probably to his credit with the week he just had for Mahomes this week. But.
Well, he needed Mahomes this week because Burrow's on bye.
Yeah.
After this week, he'll
Dave's not gonna make the playoffs.
What's his record?
He's 500 now.
Yeah, it's 5-5. He could easily make it.
If he made good trades, he'd have a better chance.
Yeah, I mean he made.
Not that he's made bad trades. That's not what I meant by that. But if going forward in the next 2 weeks, if he can pull off some moves, he will up his chances.
I think Michael Pittman's going to be solid the rest of the year. I mean, I was sad to see Michael Pittman go, but when you can get Justin Jefferson, you got to get Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have solid receivers. Like he's got Pittman's okay. Thielen's on the same level. I think they're both pretty equal to each other. They can have good weeks, but not savior week kind of games.
Thielen is always a threat for a touchdown every week, but with them coming out last week and saying that like our offense depends on getting Justin Jefferson the ball, that's going to hurt Thielen a little bit.
Absolutely.
Maybe he'll draw attention and Thielen will be able to score more efficiently because Justin Jefferson drawing more attention from the defense, but you don't want to bank on that.
No.
It's not a reliable narrative. But Melvin Gordon crushed me this week in DFS because literally all I needed was him and Dalvin to have a decent game. Like I needed them to score like 20 points apiece, and I would have made 15 Gs.
Damn.
Of course, they can't do that the week where they're supposed to do it, but
Not salty or nothing.
not at all. No, not at all.
No opinions here.
Instead of 15 Gs. I'm never gonna hold a grudge against Melvin Gordon for the rest of the season, but whatever.
Or key his car and nothing.
Nothing like that.
I've
Not
never
at all.
seen him angry angers.
He'll key his own car. He drives around drunk enough.
Oh, fuck.
Oh jeez.
Never was punished for that, by the way.
Too soon.
Anyway,
I said too soon.
last year it was pretty soon.
Any other comments on this one?
Colts had a good day in defense. I think they blocked the punt too, didn't they? They blocked the punt.
They did.
Yeah,
They had
Colts
one
blocked
block and a touchdown. Early in the game.
I misspoke earlier. It wasn't the Panthers.
Okay.
It wasn't the Panthers blocked punt. It was the Colts. Yeah, that's right. And then are we good on Dave's team?
I think so.
Good
For
win.
Todd's team, good win for Dave. Todd's team, Justin Herbert has been really up and down this year, and specifically lately. He's had some duds.
He was up early, late now.
He had a week lately. I think he had last week. He did 21, didn't he? 20 something.
31 last week.
Yeah.
Okay.
But 14 the week prior.
Yeah, he's
And
been
11 the
insane.
week before that. So got
Okay.
hot and cold.
Yeah.
Well, quarterback 7 on the year, so still good to have. But that just creates the awkward position where in weeks where maybe you should bench him, you don't feel like you can.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
That might be the 35-point week.
Yep.
Good thing. Good thing you didn't start Matt
Sounds about a
Ryan.
hot and cold player.
Look what Matt Ryan got.
Yeah, he made the right call.
Ooh, not even a full point.
That was rough.
Fraction point Ryan.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Fraction point.
that's right.
Fraction point Ryan. I like it.
Joke of the podcast.
That's great. That's better. We notched it up a little bit. We went from a D plus. We're now at a solid C minus. All right, we're in there. All right, let's see if we get to a B.
Rams down here on the 10-yard line. Matthew Stafford rolls out to the left. Goes about 3 yards past the line of scrimmage before he throws the ball away in fear of his life.
They've been inside the 10 for
So
12
this is
minutes.
absolutely going to be a flag on Stafford, and they're going to back him up. And they're going to have a 3rd and goal.
Look at this ref with the sweet shades.
Like, look how far past the
It's
line of
fucking Big
scrimmage.
Lebowski vibes there. What's his face?
Why is there a referee with fucking shades on? People are making jokes.
He looks like the dude. Who's that?
Yeah,
The Vietnam guy from Lebowski
that's true.
with the shades. Oh man.
Stafford was trying to roll around. He thought he could just run towards the end zone, and 2 Niners appeared out of nowhere. So he ran to the sideline, and chucked it because he was pissing his pants.
He just said we're in California. Rules don't exist here.
Yeah, right.
You know what? Maybe he made a business decision.
Well, he forgot what the line of scrimmage was.
If the man didn't get hit, he made the right call. Okay.
That's right.
The game is 7-31.
You gotta play the games to get the money, folks.
You gotta beat the ones that played you.
You gotta show up
That
with your
actually works.
shoelaces tied.
That's too bad.
Yeah, right. No,
Yeah.
he fucked it up so bad it worked.
I know. It's hard to fuck it up on purpose. It's better when it happens organically. But Devin Singletary fell into the end zone as well. I was just talking shit on the Buffs running backs, but they both got a touchdown this week. Michael Carter, I guess apparently whenever he plays with Mr. White, he's valuable. Yet to be seen what happens when Zach Wilson comes back. Because the other one in New York who's been showing up is Elijah Moore. Rookie sensation, been coming on strong. Yeah, he's got a touchdowns the last couple weeks.
Is he rostered in our team? In our league?
Somebody has him, I believe. Maybe Trish, maybe Allen. I'm not quite sure.
Okay.
But I believe he's been picked up. We are looking that up right now, folks. And he's rostered by Mr. Taylor, who did not play him against me, luckily, because he did have a touchdown this week, I believe. Garbage time, but he scored 2 touchdowns against the Colts last week, and he scored 1 this week. So he's got a little hot streak going. Keenan Allen, Mr. Consistent. You love that. He's getting all the targets lately. Needs to get in the end zone a little bit more often, but, it's nice having players that you can bank on the floor like that. It makes it easy to say.
Yeah, because when you're getting that kind of yards every week, you're not touchdown dependent. You can just count on them.
Yep. Not a lot of boom weeks for Mr. Allen, but he's always there in stat line in the box score.
Maybe a little bit of a letdown considering he was a 3rd-round pick, but not. You can live with it.
Well, where is he points wise on the season? He's probably a Keenan Allen.
Receiver 23.
Oh, that's a little bit below where he usually is.
A little bit.
He's usually
only because Michael Williams had the start of the season.
Yeah.
And that doesn't matter a whole lot if it's swayed his way now because you want to get hot around playoff time.
I bet he finishes right around wide receiver 12. That's where he always seems to end up by the end of the year.
Okay.
But he hasn't had any there's always a week every year where Keenan Allen has 30 points. And he hasn't done it yet this year, so.
Yeah, I mean, it always happens until it doesn't. So
that's true, but it's
the first year it doesn't.
That's true. Kyle Pitts, obviously. Kyle Pitts was the one halfway bright spot. He got 6 points at tight end, which is not a terrible week.
He caught 2 balls deep down in the middle, about 20, 25 yards on the first 2 drives the Falcons had. And then I think the stat after they put up 3 points, they went -5 yards over them following 8 drives.
Well, Matt Ryan was running for his life, and Cordero went out with an ankle sprain. And when you have to rely on Mike Williams or Mike Davis at running back, that offense took a nosedive.
Limited,
yeah, super limited.
Because that's what they've done all year is move people around and sculpt it around their playmakers.
It's Matt Ryan's safety blanket. And you saw it. I mean, you guys watched that game. How many times did Mike Davis drop the ball? He had a first down and a run.
Numbers.
Yeah, first down and a run after the catch for maybe 10 yards. You hit him right, the numbers dropped it. Destroyed that whole drive.
Wants no part of catching a ball.
Speaking of Patterson, we can jump into this last matchup. Because I have Patterson that we were talking about, and he only put up 4 points. But I need 6 yards from Elijah Mitchell.
And you just lost 2.
Well, I needed 4. Yeah. Sorry, the podcast, the computer's a little bit ahead of the TV.
All right.
So I need 6 yards to get the W against Brant. And there's 6 minutes left.
We are watching this match.
This was a nail biter.
It's coming down to the wire.
Is this going to be another single-digit yard loss for Brent? 2 in one season.
It's either going to be one for him or it's going to be one for me.
I know.
It could be a tie.
How many times?
It can't be. There's already a .02 that will separate that. You can't get that as running back.
Uh-oh. Got a couple. Got 2 yards. Got the
4
2 yards back.
Oh, will you turn that off?
Got the 2 yards back.
Oh, God.
Got the 2 yards back. 3rd down. Well, they're not going to run it here.
They might.
You're right. They might. They probably will.
Actually. I bet they do.
Shanahan's not a moron, so they probably will.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, I can't.
Time out. All right, let's go back to
The only reason I'm even in this game is because of the show that Patrick Mahomes put on last night. I got 41 points between Tyreek Hill and Darrell Williams on Sunday Night Football to keep me back in this match.
And what did you get? You had Schultz. What do we think about Dalton Schultz with Michael Gallup back?
I think he's less important. I think that he just hasn't gotten any looks. They threw it to a third string tight end last night before they threw it to him.
Michael Gallup's a good wide receiver. He's
Yeah, he
going to
is.
demand more
I'm
targets.
so
than
glad
Wilson.
that he is back.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Cedric Wilson filled in admirably.
he did great.
But
But teams forced them to throw to Cedric Wilson because he was the only one they can afford to, and he took advantage of it. Had some good plays, but you can do that to Michael Gallup now. You can't do that.
no, Michael Gallup could be easily. Michael Gallup on the Patriots probably wide receiver 1.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But on most teams, he's a solid wide receiver 2. He just happens to be playing with 2 elite wide receivers.
That's true.
You know.
And like, what's Dallas's offense gonna look like going forward? I mean, we can't like count on this game to happen again because this game was.
Just ugly.
Oh,
One-sided from the get-go.
Yeah.
It's good to get your confidence back, though. You know.
It's true.
And every important offensive piece was involved. Amari obviously didn't have a huge game, but he was involved.
You want the dud to happen in the regular season, not the fucking postseason. So
Yeah, you wanted to happen against the fucking Broncos.
It always
That
does
kind of
too,
game,
by the
you
way.
know?
yeah,
Like our team historically in like the last 20 years against the Denver Broncos
yeah.
has been shitty.
Mm-hmm.
We lose against the Broncos a lot.
Yeah.
What's really going to be important for Dallas is that if you guys are building steam and they're kind of hitting their peak around like week 15, then they're going to be real dangerous. If they start getting a little flat at the end of the year, then they're going to be susceptible to that first round
Yeah,
loss.
I mean they're
Just like any other team. But
We can start looking for like home field implications at this point of the season, and that is so flattering to hear as a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
I didn't think that going into this season.
I'm not as confident, but I'm confident every year coming into a season.
Mhm.
yeah, but
More
terrible
excited
division
than this.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you could probably blank them 6-0.
Yep.
You know. So
you should. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're playing out to your potential,
Dak
you
plays really
absolutely
good
should.
in the division, so
You're the only
Yeah.
team in the division that has all 3 phases of the game covered,
yeah.
and with playmakers at every tier just about, except for maybe cornerback or safety.
have they played anybody but the Eagles yet? I think they've only played
They
one
played the
game.
Giants.
They played the
They beat them,
Buccaneers.
right?
They-
We're talking about in the division.
oh god, sorry.
Yeah, they have played the Giants.
So they have 4 games left in divisions.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And there's only everybody's got 7 games left, right?
Yep.
So
Well,
some
roughly.
teams 8. Some
There's
teams
yeah,
8,
there's yeah.
But yeah, and you got half of those are
Yeah.
against a rough division. Like
Yeah.
you
If
like
we
that.
only won the games on division, that's 4-3 finishing. out.
There's a couple tough matchups in there. They got to play the Chiefs in Arrowhead, which is never easy. They got to play the
Especially
Saints, which
next
is
week.
questionable.
I am so excited to watch the Dallas defense against the Chiefs offense and baby. There's gonna be some huge plays
That's
both
gonna be a
ways.
fun game,
Cowboys do play the Cardinals, I think, the second to last week of the year, too. So that could have playoff implications. as
especially
far
if they
as-
have their big guns back.
That'll be enough time for Kyler to come back and
Yeah.
DeAndre if they slow play him. And they got a good record, so they probably could.
That one, look for that one to be a foreshadow. of
Chase
the
Edmonds maybe
postseason.
be back.
Ooh, that'd be an exciting game.
Yes, it is.
So Tom Brady, rough week. I mean, that's probably what's gonna, you get any type of decent week that you expect out of Brady, and Brant's already got this matchup out of reach for you. Just, I don't know what it's strange, and they brought this up. The Bucks lost 2 in a row last year, and then did not lose a game all the way through the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
So we'll see if they have that same type of rallying spirit, and. You can't just say it's like, well, Vita Vea makes different. Vita Vea was out last year during that stretch too.
Also true.
So we'll see what happens with the Bucks. They need to get healthier in their secondary if they're gonna repeat this year, because their secondary is a huge weak spot on their team. Richard Sherman didn't show up. He was inactive. They don't have anybody else back there. Everybody's been hurt.
That team just, the effect Tom Brady has on his teammates, and that goes for the defense, too.
As it gets
When-
late, they'll play well because
Yeah, when it gets around postseason time, there's going to be ice in everybody's veins because of the way that they lead the team.
Be real worried if I was playing the Bucks next week. Because I think Tom Brady's gonna whip that team into shape this week.
Oh, absolutely.
they still sound like to me a team that I'm afraid to play the Bucks next week. regardless of how they're looking. They just, you know what I'm saying?
Right, but I think they're gonna do what like the Bills and the Cowboys did this week, where they're gonna come out
Who
next
they got?
week. I don't know who they have, but I don't think it matters because I think they're gonna put one on them, whoever it is.
I'll find out.
They've got the Giants.
The Giants about to get
At home.
Daniel Jones should retire because he's about to
jeez.
get annihilated.
Oh, he is. Belichick's going to do some mean things to him.
But yeah, Arians. It's
Sorry. I'm getting them crossed over.
It's easy to do, even
Too
like
much marijuana.
weed, folks. It makes you forget stuff.
Drugs are bad, okay?
But
I'm like, badass, woo! I've had 3 coffees.
that's Tony Michelle.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was.
Run for a touchdown, dude. Win me money. All right. Anyway, DeAndre Swift. When you get 33 carries, it doesn't matter if you even get 3 yards to carry. You're still gonna score points because you got 33 carries. And he actually averaged 4, so you get a lot of points when you do that. I don't even think he scored a touchdown, did he?
He did not. He had 130 yards on the ground.
Yep. They're going to kill that man if they do that to him again, though. He's too small for 33 carries
I
a game.
think that they might. It's a terrible franchise.
Yeah, let's not discount the fact that they might mismanage the situation.
It's really sad because DeAndre Swift DeAndre Swift on any other team, literally any other than the Texans and the Jets, any team other than those 3 teams would be twice as valuable.
I
Man,
agree.
Dolores
so good.
Ford has got to go. Like, let's move on. Like, there's no reason that she's sitting at the helm of any decision making at this point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at this, like, it's a joke, right? Like, someone's laughing about that.
We're laughing about it.
Yeah.
It's fucking awful.
But I gotta say, because I like Dan Campbell, and I like the
Former Dallas Cowboy.
I like that guy.
Same.
I like what he brings to that franchise, and I think he will resurrect them out of the ashes if they give him enough time.
It's the only way to go.
Exactly.
Yeah, out of
Only
Detroit.
way to go.
Detroit.
One way ticket.
On a westbound train.
Let's get a team in San Antonio.
Ladies and gentlemen, your first Liam Rhymes reference.
You have to go west. Any direction. Just get out.
They would have to move somewhere in the Midwest, though. Where would they go? Iowa City?
Oh, God.
Tiny market.
South Dakota.
Go to Milwaukee. Have two in Wisconsin. I'd be down for that.
No, stop it. You can't have all the football teams.
Hey, you guys have like what? How many in Texas? There's like 3 down there.
Yeah, it's too many in Texas. It's too many in Texas.
Well, there's 2, right? But,
Yeah, there's too many in Texas.
yeah.
Should be the Cowboys.
There you go.
It is. It's the Dallas
We'll
Cowboys.
play on
It's the
words.
Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, well, the other franchise doesn't. That city isn't a red franchise either.
Nope.
They've ruined careers as well. Dearness Johnson, terrible week for the Browns. The man still shows up. That guy's going to get a contract next year. I'm calling it right now. He's
They
going to
got-
go somewhere.
Pegged by the Patriots. Absolutely wrecked.
Yeah. And he still put up 15 points.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You know?
They have an amazing offensive line that will just create lanes.
And everybody's shitting on Baker. And I don't think Baker's that good of a quarterback. But how good of a quarterback can you be when you're getting annihilated left and right?
Yeah.
Okay? The
People putting
man's
7 or 8 in the box just to stop your running attack. They're coming.
He's throwing with half of a shoulder. His knee just got destroyed. Like
You know who would look real good in Cleveland?
Russell
Deshaun
Wilson.
Watson.
Deshaun Watson. Deshaun's going to my
What about Russell Wilson?
I think you want to run the ball in Cleveland. So Deshaun Watson.
how good of a fit would Russell Wilson be in Cleveland coming out of Seattle where they love to run the ball?
And-
already?
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're right.
for the record,
I
though,
feel you on
Russell
that.
Wilson would look good everywhere that he goes.
Of course, but that system
But
fits him.
exceptionally well behind that offensive line.
Yeah.
Give
Yeah.
that man time to create lanes with his feet on top of the line creating lanes for the running
Hey,
back.
Matt Gay get you some points.
It'd be hard
Matt
to-
Gay? Nice. Gay. We like to say that. That's the reason why we drafted him, other than the fact he plays for the Rams.
I need the Rams to go ahead and end this fucking drive, even if it's with 7. I don't care.
They just ended it. So
That's great.
Yeah, I want to see this. I want to see you do it.
I need 3 yards now.
3 yards.
And they're probably
folks.
gonna have one more shot at it. Could be one.
As
play.
long as he's the one that they put in the game.
You know what's gonna happen? What would really suck? He gets 4 yards and fumbles it.
With like a Dak situation, remember that game last year
Oh,
for me?
yeah.
I had won the game and I was celebrating, and then they're losing by like 20 points.
Yeah.
They throw up a Hail Mary and it gets picked off, and
Yeah.
I just like threw my hat on the ground. I was
I
like,
remember that now.
That was so
What a
good.
tough way to go.
it was It was
What
fun
a
to
way to
ride that
go.
roller coaster, but it sucked that I ended by falling off the roller coaster
Oh, jeez.
and dying.
Yeah.
But
Because that's your fear when you get on a roller coaster. Is this
It's
going to be in a
done.
headline?
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was.
That's my
I
body
fell off and
telling
my
me
soul
that
died.
thousands of years of evolution. I shouldn't do this.
And
Yeah.
that's supposed
It's
to
a
be
thrill,
going
though.
this fast
Yeah.
upside down.
I didn't expect to stress about this matchup, and I hadn't.
Oh, they got it.
Okay. Give me 3 yards, please.
They're definitely going to run it. Watch this. Shanahan's going to put in Trey
I
Sermon.
knew
Yeah.
it. I was feeling the same
Let's see
thing.
what happens.
You
Is
son
it
of a
Jeff
bitch.
Wilson? Is it
Oh,
Trey Sermon?
Come on.
We'll find out.
You
real
gotta,
quick.
you gotta play with the one that danced
You
here.
you have to play with the flute that was in your closet. You know?
Y'all's food.
He's on the
He's
field.
on the field. Give
There
him
he is.
25. Please give him 25.
You know they're running the ball. It's
Well, yeah, but like,
it's
is he
Kyle
gonna get
Shanahan.
there?
Watch this. They boot it out. They throw a fucking 40-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
Rams run the clock out.
That would suck.
They give it to Kyle Usage.
By
and
the
he
way,
runs a
Aaron
40-yard
Donald-
touchdown.
Aaron Donald not on the field. They're giving it to Mitchell,
Well-
and there's no Aaron Donald. He's got to get it right.
Von Miller's still over there. There it is. And he won.
He
He won for now.
Well, for now. don't
No
you
fumbles.
Fumble that fucking ball.
Brett, you're down by 6 yards, sir.
Oh.
6.2.
6.2 yards.
Well,
Sorry, Brent. I didn't want it to be like this.
it sucks to lose.
You didn't want that?
I mean, I wanted to win, but like,
Just like that?
yeah, this fashion feels a little dirty. I'm not gonna lie.
It sucks to lose when he had Ramondre Stevenson in
Mhm.
the week that Ramondre Stevenson had.
You're
he had
right.
it on the bench.
It's true.
And it's because the same reason that I didn't play him, Brand. I understand, man. You didn't play him because
We
you've
lost
been-
Brant hours ago.
I know, but if Brand's still listening, the reason why you can't play Ramondre Stevenson this week, and nobody did in our league, including the person who had him, was because Belichick's you as much as he doesn't. And Ramondre Stevenson did not practice all week. He's a rookie. So what do you think Belichick's going to do? It's going to give it to the veteran. It's going to be Brandon Bolden. Not the case.
Nope.
At all.
Mm-mm.
It's,
And not only did it go just, I mean, it went way to Stevenson. 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's a huge game.
he looks good. There's going to be some roster issues with them. Or they just go Cleveland's route and they have 2 studs.
Who's the next team that the Patriots play that can actually put up offense? Because I want to see them play from behind.
I want to see them play the Bills.
Yeah, same.
Really want to see them play the Bills.
Same.
They play the Bills in 3 weeks. Week 13. They got the Falcons, then they got the Titans, then they got
Titans
the
will be a
Bills.
fun one.
The Titans are going to beat them.
Maybe. They must beat the Cow. The Patriots are good, man. I know we don't like to say it, but the Patriots are a good team.
I think
Really
the
don't
Titans
want
are
to
a good
yeah.
team. And I think the Titans and the Patriots play the same. I think the Titans are going to get it.
How fun is that game going to be
I think
with
that-
Mr. Vrabel versus Belichick?
Oh, yeah. I can't wait.
That'll be fun.
Can't wait.
That'll be a very fun game. Jerry Jeudy getting a lot of targets. Obviously, Denver didn't show up. They got beat. Oh yeah, I was saying that Philly played the Chargers, but they actually played Denver this week. But saying, they didn't. Denver didn't show up for that game. They got beat by Philly. But Zach Ertz, Colt McCoy, you're never gonna have a huge blow-up game when you have Colt McCoy throwing the ball around.
Ain't that the truth?
He's better than Mason Rudolph, but not by much.
Yeah.
James Robinson is Mr. Consistent. He comes through no matter how bad the Jaguars are. Saints. What happened to the Saints game? They lost, didn't they?
The
They lose
Saints
a close
lost
game?
to the Titans.
Yeah, that's right.
23-21.
Oh, they kind of beat him up. I didn't get
Because the Titans are good.
any news. Like I don't
Titans
have
are
a
barely
real read
beat
on
the
that
Saints
game.
without a quarterback. They're okay.
The
Titans
Titans
lost one of the best players in football, and
And
they still
before
keep winning.
before they did, I would say pretty good team.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay.
They did the Rams dirty. I don't know. It just feels like they play whoever they play against about. I
They're
don't know.
consistent. I'll give you that.
Their record's good.
Yeah.
There's a chance
I
the
don't think they're a
Titans
bad
get the.
team.
Why are
There's
we?
a chance the Titans get the bye, and Derrick Henry comes back for the divisional round,
Yeah.
and that's a real problem.
Yeah, because he's banking hard on
Yeah.
it.
Well, no.
Well, that'll be. I'll be out of that shit by then.
Yeah.
But for their playoffs, the
Yeah, that's
real
what I'm
ones,
saying. They could be real dangerous.
I'm fucked on that deal.
What else
Stick
you
them in the
got?
IR
I need the Titans to lose a couple games real quick, just so they look vulnerable without Derrick Henry. So they put that shit on the clock. That's what I need.
if they
I need the Titans to come up looking
they
flat.
lose like 4 in a row, and then they're
Yeah.
like, we need you back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, they lost Julio to IR too, so they're
Excellent news. What's the Titans' schedule going forward?
Don't know.
Well, we know they have the Patriots in 2 weeks.
Yeah, they got Houston next week.
That's a win.
Then in New England, followed by a bye. Then they got Jacksonville, Pittsburgh, San Fran, Miami, and then Houston again.
Oh wow, the Titans have one of the best. That sucks that you don't have Henry.
Mm-hmm. I know.
They have one of the best playoff schedules.
I know, man.
Against San Fran, Miami, and Houston.
Yeah, if he just comes back like to the championship game and that's all, and I somehow find myself there.
Our playoffs would be 14, 15, and 16.
Oh, yeah, you're
Or is
right.
it 15, 16,
But still,
17?
like at Pittsburgh late in the year, if Pittsburgh's still playing for the playoffs, because that obviously that time they get up for it. Tomlin's a good coach, a defensive coach, but
I think Mitchell just lost 2 yards.
we did.
Oh,
Oh, this
shit.
game is on the knife edge,
He's
folks.
still up.
4.2.
4.2.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
Sorry, 0.42.
This sucks because I was hoping that the Niners were going to get annihilated, and then they were going to go to Trey Lance next week, and I was going to pick them up.
Instead, you got Cam Newton.
Didn't work.
Yeah, dude.
Watch OBJ doesn't show up for practice tomorrow. He's like, I'm done here. I came right here. I'm done.
Y'all got skunked by the Niners amount.
No!
Hey,
Okay,
we all got.
I think you're pretty safe
That was
now.
third down. That would have been the last one.
I think
So.
you're pretty safe now.
Okay.
If you'd have got shoelaced,
Yeah.
you'd have lost.
Hey, good news for Brent. It was over a point.
At least it wasn't. Yeah, at least it wasn't under a
You
point.
hear that, Brent? Good news, bud. You lost by more. Oh, what a huge bitch you are.
Oh shit. We called this. I said it earlier, folks. This is the mean pod. We're all being a little mean today.
Yeah,
It's all right.
attitude reflect leadership.
We're getting deeper into the winter, folks. The lack of sunlight's starting to affect us.
Ain't that the
We're
truth?
getting the old coastal chill here.
I'm affected.
Forgive the aggression.
And it gets more.
Oh, yes.
As long as it
Five
doesn't
more,
put on the
four
ground.
more. Oh, that would be hilarious. Oh, it'd be so funny.
You say it hilarious.
That's over now. I think that's the last play, isn't it?
That was
it.
fourth
That was
down.
fourth down.
So
it's
yeah.
done.
Game over.
Hey, the comeback kids prevail.
Comeback kids living up to the name. Playoff hopes still alive, if just.
Oh my god, San Francisco 49ers first home win in 394 days.
Well, we like that they beat the Rams because you know what? That means Packers and Cowboys top of the NFC tied.
It's true.
Yeah.
Our team's clearly better.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what you think. I don't think you get the best defense. But we'll see. Let's see what happens. See what happens. You got vulnerable defense.
You're saying all that real quiet. I don't know if the microphone can hear you, Patrick.
Oh,
yeah, right?
What's the
Cowboys
reason
got a
behind that?
vulnerable defense. Packers got a more consistent team. I'm saying it right now.
Chest.
Saying it right now. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see come
Yeah,
playoff
we
time.
will. Yeah, we will.
So, what kind of good matchups we got next week? We got
We got Mr. Dave versus Brent.
2 7-3 teams going head to head.
That'll be a marquee matchup. Yeah, Cody and go home Bailey. We'll see if that returns to Allen and
Cody.
Dalvin. Yet to be seen.
Cody's representing our conference in this one.
And it'll be
One
the
against
two
their
best
number one,
right?
records.
And we hope he
going at
loses.
Our number one against their number one.
it. Yeah.
And we hope he loses because you wonder what? We're winning next week. Let's be real. And then we're gonna be tied with Cody. He'll drop another one. And guess
The
what?
Rams are
We're
playing
getting
next
that
week.
bye.
It's
I know. So
the odds are
me
low.
and you're gonna be tied. You're gonna be up on points.
Uh-huh.
Be real vulnerable. Might be a
Ugh.
three-way tie after next week.
Hey, I'm
Real
looking
good.
good on points though. Looking good on points.
Yeah, but
How-
looking worse every week.
Every week.
How are you? Okay, let's.
I did lose 10 points or I lost 14 points to Bailey. I was up like 30 and a half. So I've got like 15 on her.
The race is narrowing.
Yeah, it is.
Narrowing drastically by the
Yep.
week, folks. So
Yep.
you're gonna need to just get some ungodly luck and put up a triple digits week, and that might put you out of.
It's true. I mean,
Put it
I've
on,
done it a few times, but I got to do that Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
So-
we have. I mean, the interesting part about our league this year is that there has been actually a lot of parity. Like, there's gonna be a few teams that, for all intents and purposes, are gonna be kind of out of it after this week.
My saving grace is
But-
I played Todd the last week.
Look how even the middle of the pack is. Like the difference between like
I know.
the fourth place team and the 12th place team is less than 75 points on the whole year.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I think I'm gonna pass Trish for points too. So I'm gonna move into that 10th spot. We're not last, baby. I like that.
Shooting for the stars.
Yeah, that's right. Well, although Dave's down by too far. He'll gain on me a little bit, but he won't pass me.
Yeah.
But the leader is still Cody. Bailey is coming in hot. Third place is Alan. And then fourth place is Mr. Alan OG. Eric is fifth. And the reason why it's relevant, folks, need I remind you that there is a jersey prize for the highest points. I know everybody knows that, but we'll just reiterate. It'll be really interesting to see who wins that. And then as it stands today, the playoff buys, as Jake is pulling up here, go to Mr. Butthole Records and Team Go Home Bailey.
This was, for the record, coming into this week.
Coming into this week.
And it still will be.
It could be different tomorrow.
I mean,
It won't look different tomorrow because
But for the
Alan.
rest of the analysis.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. For the points analysis, but the playoff teams, I don't think it's changing. The buys still go to those two, even though they both lost. They had enough of a lead, and then Alan Taylor lost, so other Alan maintains his lead in that division. Cody was up by 2 games, so he just loses a game out of his lead there. Mr. Strozzi still stays in position, I believe, as well as Bailey. She got a win this week. So did I. I just mentioned Alan lost, but he's still in. Eric is moving up the ranks. Todd, Brant, and Trish fall down 1, and Jake and Dave move up a win. Jake really needs some losses in our division here if he's going to have a chance. But
Jake's in let's not get last place mode. So still looking to make some moves, but I'm not fooling myself. They're giving me, while I don't completely agree, a 4% chance to make the postseason.
Well, between Brant's luck and Trish's lack of running back depth, I think you're pretty safe from the Sacco there. But anything can happen, as we say.
I think so too, but we'll see.
Turns on a dime, as we've said.
I got 3 people beat on the point total, so I'm living with that little victory right now.
Well,
One of which has a 6-4 record and is going to make the postseason.
hey,
His name's Patrick.
again, fantasy chosen one, as they say. Some call me Neo.
Some do they?
No, they don't. I don't think anyone does.
I call myself Neo, so by that standard, I'd be factually correct because I only said some.
Some is one.
Some 41, you know what it is.
That
And on that note,
get out.
good night, everybody.
Didn't they have a line about abortion?
You're an all-star, dude.